Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this great world of ours. Today is July 24th, 2026. It is day 43 of my video challenge. And today I want to talk about a question I got asked. So I was at this kind of discernment event, and one of the questions that was asked was when, if ever, have you felt the presence and warmth of God? And boy, that was a doozy. Because at first, my first reaction was, no, I've never felt the presence and warmth of God. That was just my kind of like my gut reaction, off the cuff, knee jerk reaction. And then sort of quickly, I was like, well, actually, I felt the presence of God in many ways, but not the warmth. And then I rescinded that again, and I was like, no, actually, I have felt the presence and the warmth of God. And this is all in my mind. I'm not saying any of this, right? This is just my internal thoughts. And I'm like, no, I actually have felt the presence and warmth of God. Without a doubt, when I was at this rave in San Francisco and I was on ecstasy, I absolutely felt the presence and warmth of God. It was amazing. And you could say that was the drugs, but honestly, I think the drugs only open us to being able to perceive things that normally we can't. For example, there are animals that can follow magnetic lines of the earth. So anyway, that's how geese know how to fly south for the winter and fly north for the summer, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, and then so I was I was like thinking to myself, okay, probably not the best example to give. Is there anything else I can think of? And I was trying to look for a specific point in time, and I couldn't come up with my earliest memory of when this happened. But definitely the first, what really, like the first time I ever really felt the presence and warmth of God in my life was when I experienced the unexpected kindness of a complete stranger. Yeah, without a doubt. And for me, that also remains one of the uh, sort of greatest examples of that. It's just the unexpected kindness of a complete stranger, not only to myself, but from one, person to another. That, without a doubt, is sort of my greatest example of that. And it has nothing to do with anything miraculous happening or, you know, me getting saved in some way that couldn't have happened any other way, any of that kind of stuff. No, it's just when you see a complete stranger going out of their way to be kind to another human being in a just unscripted, spur of the moment kind of way. What else can that be? It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things that happens in life. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it today. I kind of had a long day, and uh, again, I had coffee with a friend this morning who I hadn't seen in a while, and we had some great conversations. And I was just so full of ideas after that. And God, within about 20 minutes, they were just gone. Those ideas were gone. I got to get better at jotting this stuff down. I guess that makes me just like everybody else, right? So I don't know. There's probably some amazing people out there who can just file those notes away and pull them back up in their mind, not writing them down at all. And maybe at one point I was able to do that, but I can't do it anymore. So thankfully, I was at this event this evening and this question came up, and I thought, you know what, this is a really good question. It really made me think. And the fun part was that I had several reactions to it within the span of a couple of minutes. So that's a really good question when you get your knee-jerk reaction and then you're like, okay, wait a minute, what about this? And then you're like, actually, wait a minute, what about this? And then you keep kind of digging deeper, and as you're peeling back the layers, you get better insights, better memories, better, that's a good question. So, okay, well, if you're still with me, please consider hitting the like button. It's free for you and helps me more than you know. And as always, please remember, you are more loved than you know and far more valuable than you can ever imagine. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.